This combination is a GameSir VX2. Alright, this is something kind of special. This is the GameSir VX2. And I think this might be quite interesting for a great many reasons. As a bit of a gamer, I have a PlayStation 4 that's sitting downstairs that I don't really use very often because I just can't get into using the control pads, especially for first-person shooters, my favourite genre. So this actually allows you to use like a standard PC gaming setup on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Switch and the PC. So it has a mouse, the VX2 receiver, and then this doohickey here, which is a simplified keyboard, so that you can actually have accuracy whenever you're shooting down your buddies on Borderlands or Call of Duty or whatever it happens to be. I really quite like the idea of this, and I think that something like, say, Stadia or NVIDIA GeForce streaming, that kind of thing, would really benefit from the likes of this. Plus, it's only about £80 to buy new. It's currently an Indiegogo campaign, but it really looks to be a very classy entry into it. So I'm busting to get into it to have a look and see what all is in here, because this thing looks class. Okay, so it's got VX2 AimSwitch. One combo for all consoles, which is an ambitious task, especially, given that you're cross-platforming. I believe it's compatible with the PS3 as well. So TTC Mechanical Red Switches enable up to 50 million keystrokes. So it's red switches in here. So yes. Integrated panel made of aluminium alloy. 7-key rollover anti-ghosting with anti-skid texture design, ultra precise CNC procedure, Agility X 2.4 GHz wireless ultra low latency technology, Alps ultra thin 3D joystick, highly customizable or highly customized for each game via G-Crux, and RGB backlight with 6.8 million colours. This is one of the most important things, because there's nothing worse than having to sit down and configure a keyboard or gaming input whenever you just want to do some gaming. Okay, so there's a bit more information on the bottom there about factory stuff. So we'll get into it because it's dead exciting. And there we have it on top. Oh, it's a lot bigger than I had. Well, I suppose it comprises of mini keys on the keyboard. Actually, come to think of it, this, if you're a PC gamer, this means you can have the best of both worlds. You could have a soft touch keyboard for your typing, and then a noisy mechanical keyboard for your gaming. Alright, we'll set that aside just for a second. We have Aim to Switch eSports combo manual on how to set it up. There it is, setting up for the PlayStation, the Xbox, the Switch. It's good to see that the manual actually covers all that and just doesn't leave you to your own devices. We have a bit of warranty information there. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to grow and develop and realize our blah 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 blah. Very nice, GameSir. Already I'm impressed. I'll give them a shout out for Facebooky type things if you want to go there and find out more stuff, but there'll be links down below in the show notes as to where to find their stuff. Okay, so we have some stickers to stick on the side of your gaming PC or your PlayStation to show that you're using it. We have correct ways to connect to the Switch, and alright, okay, so that must be some kind of update, maybe just to keep people in the right. A certificate of quality checking in a nice plectrum shape. And we have, oops, a USB Type-C dongle that we use to hook this up to, I don't know, maybe the Switch actually, or well, whatever you happen to have on the back of your computer. And we have the mouse, which we'll come back to in a second. We'll get everything out first. That's must be the connection device, and then a USB Type-C. Nothing else under the plastic. Right, so I'm guessing this is the thing that we would set up first, so we'll look at it first. This is the receiver device, so it is entirely plastic. It has one button on the top there, and it looks to have a rubberized cable that pops out, which has a micro USB on the bottom there. And then this connects to a USB-A. It's got shiny plastic here and matte plastic there. Great. We have a braided cord here, which has USB-A to USB Type-C. That does have the GameSir branding on them. Great. And then there's this again, which we've already looked at. Great. And the mouse. So the mouse starts off with a USB Type-A, goes into a... That's like a tight braid. This is a sort of looser braid, which is a bit odd. And it's got a nice Velcro strap to keep everything nicely put together. USB cable's about 2 meters long, and the mouse is okay. It's got this plastic over the top of it. Obviously they've put all of their development into the mouse buttons to make sure that they can take a million button clicks and things. There's a button up here, there's a ruler that feels a bit light and flimsy with plastic, and those as well. But I'm guessing the target audience that they have for this, or the target consumer group, would probably have their own preferable mouse. So the mouse is a bit of a throwaway mouse, I'd say. But it's there just so that you can whip it out of the bag, or if you've forgotten your mouse, you can still play on with this mouse. I wouldn't want to use it for too long. It does seem to be quite nice, but it doesn't seem to be the most sturdy construction, especially when you compare it to the other item that's in the box. But yes, it's a mouse. Well done, GameSir. And then the star of the show. This is the... well, I don't know what you call it, actually. Is there the gaming keypad. The AimSwitch gaming keypad. Okay, so these are red switches, as you can see there. There appears to be some kind of screen up here that has a protective covering over it. And we have 5 F buttons that double up. You can see that has an app function on it, and this has, it looks like a wireless function for probably connecting to the main unit, or this whenever you're hooking it up for the first time. You have an escape button, and then you have 6 buttons, so if you're playing Doom, you're going to run out of numbers. But then I guess you've got your scroll wheel. We've got tab, we've got the WSAD, QWERT, caps lock, down to F and G, then Shift, Z to B, Control, Function, Alt, Space Bar, and M. I'm guessing that's a memory, or well, I suppose it's page down as well. So going into it, you'd need to have a look and see which buttons you're missing and where they've been remapped to, or perhaps remap yourself. Whenever it comes to using this on a PlayStation or something, it'll be interesting to see exactly how that works. Then of course we have a little joystick down here. It doesn't click, it merely just navigates left, right and up and down, and diagonally in both ways. That feels quite nice under hand, so it's nice to have a bit of a wrist rest. I have large hands, so if you take into account the size here, doing your WSAD, you get to the joystick with your thumb, so navigating through menus and things like that should be fairly simple. Around this side we have a power button from the looks of things. Oh, it's a slider, right. Ah, and it turns on and we have some colours. Excellent. So it comes with some charge, and there's the screen is lighting up as well. Looks like it's linking, and it has a battery. We'll turn it off just to not confuse it right now. We have a USB Type-C on the side here. Around the back we don't really have anything. We have the USB-A on the side here for connecting it maybe to the mouse. and that's your lot, other than the underside, which is stripy plastic with a good amount of rubberizing, so it does not slide too easily across the surface, and it does not slide too easily across the surface. This silver line here is actually very attractive. Really makes it pop quite a bit. It'd be interesting to see how much time esports gamers might give to something like this, if this is something they would be excited about, or are they so set in their ways that a full QWERTY keyboard is what they actually need for all of their shortcuts and that sort of thing. So this may be more for a casual gamer, or someone like me who wants to make use of it on a PlayStation 4 so he can play some of the first-person shooters that you have on the PlayStation without using a controller. Alright, okay, so as it turns out, there isn't actually a client for Windows 10. You have to connect to it through your mobile device, but that helps you set it up for the PS4 and the Xbox and the Switch. The Windows PC seems to do everything itself. Whenever I first connected it up, it upgraded the firmware and all that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play GameSir into linking mode. If you can hear that whine in the background, that's actually the GameSir. But what I'm going to do is disconnect it from the computer. And we're in linking mode now. We hit reconnect, and there it's connected, and it brings up the keys that you can use. So we have some default configurations here for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Switch, which is kind of nice. We can go to Device Manager, which will allow us to update the firmware. It upgraded on the PC itself, and then you can do the DOM. We seem to lose connection there for whatever reason. Maybe going over to Device Manager automatically exits the connection. Then we go to Official Configuration. That brings down some of the more popular games. We have Doom on the Switch there and Knives Out on the Switch. I thought that was a film starring Daniel Craig that we reviewed recently on Projector Room. And Destiny 2, so you can pick up from all of these games. Fortnite, PUBG is there as well, so that's a PlayStation variant of PUBG. Having a look at it, we've got save location, so that must be where you actually save the location of the configuration, and you can have a couple of different ones there, name it different ways. Select to set hotkeys. Okay, that didn't seem to do anything. We have mouse name, response rate, sensitivity, first person adaptation, smoothness, horizontal, vertical, ADS settings. Can we click that to see what that actually means? No, we can't. There is a question mark, but it doesn't seem to be working. ADS settings, right mouse button. Hey, hold to ADS. I don't know what ADS is, so I'll not pretend. And then we've got button settings. Where we can, on the left, you've got the function on the PlayStation controller, and on the right you have the button that adheres to. So up is W, S is down, A is strafe left, and D is strafe right. Between the different joysticks on the PlayStation 4, I'm not sure. I don't see another listing for the other joysticks. L1, R1, and then there's up and down there, and then there's up and down, but there's a D-pad on a PlayStation controller. So yeah, there's the trackpad, which is the tab button. Maybe I should have selected a game I have some experience with. I've never used PUBG to any extent. I have played it, mind you. So that's the list of all the official ones that they've put out. User sharing, we have some users there that are using it, and then you can share your own yourself. There's nothing there for the PC. I don't exactly know how we add things to the PC. I guess we hit add. There we go. Choose your model, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Switch. Name the game, and then select your hotkey. Whilst it's handy having everything through the app, especially whenever it comes down to using it for the PlayStation and the Switch and things like that. It's not exactly the nicest app to have to run with. Ah, there, we can edit that one. So controller key R1, we can choose the key on the game switch as to what we want that to be. Can't we? Oh, R1 plus a particular button, and then you can have that translate over to a particular button. I'm getting a headache already thinking about having to work out R1 plus X on the PlayStation 4 is going to be configured to E on this keyboard affair. That's scary. Having to remove dedication to setting this up. Looking at the Switch, because it's a wee bit different, I suppose. I don't know how it's going to go for likes of 2-player games and things like that. I didn't notice actually that you could do the dead zone as well, so you can fiddle around with that. That's kind of nice. There's tons of buttons there on the Switch that you can reconfigure. Wow, this really became somewhat complicated. You can back up as well, which allows you to sign in and use a service, a cloud service that they provide. And yeah, I'm a little disappointed that it's not that easy to set some stuff up on Windows 10. I was hoping that there would be a full client and that you could fiddle around with the likes of, say, the colorized buttons and things, but even under device management, there's not too much. It is fully about key customization, not device customization. So that's a little bit disappointing, but if this is what you're looking for, then this looks to do a lot that way. So straight out of the box, it all looks very nice. It's well constructed, and I would be excited about using it. There seems to be, well, I suppose that's maybe just part of the design with the plastic. I'm going to have to go and hook this up and test it out for a wee while. It'll probably be one of those. I'm hoping that it's not going to be a frustrating setup, but depending on which platform you're using it on. I'll have a go with the PC first and foremost and see how we do with that, and then I'll take it down at a later date and hook it up to the PlayStation 4 and have a wee go with that, and we'll even try some Steam gaming as well, because it might work with the NVIDIA Shield as well, which would be quite exciting, because then you could fully utilize your Steam library in your living room, depending on your setup, obviously. So yeah, good stuff. Good, strong, nice, well set up stuff. So let me know if you have any questions or anything you want me to look at in particular when reviewing it. Hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Give us a wee thumbs up if you fancy. And remember to tune in to TalkSport on a Wednesday morning at midnight for Inspect Your Gadget, where we talk about all the crazy gadgety goings on around the world in the last week. And other than that, take care.